All right, let's jump right into this explainer. The watch world, and honestly, pop culture in general, has been in an absolute frenzy over the last few weeks. We've all seen the teasers, the renderings, and the lines literally wrapping around city blocks. So today, we're unpacking the massive cultural phenomenon that is the Audemars Piguet and Swatch Royal Pop collaboration. This release has totally transcended traditional horology. It's become this huge pop culture moment, which obviously leaves a lot of people wondering, why on earth are thousands of people waiting in line for what is essentially a pocket watch on a lanyard? I mean, it's a valid question, right? To the uninitiated, it probably seems completely baffling. But as you'll see, there is a very calculated, fascinating story behind this specific design.
Section 1. The hype returns.
Okay, so this release didn't just happen in a vacuum. It's actually the culmination of a 40-year journey. The whole thing starts with the very first Pop Swatch way back in 1986, which was effectively a wearable pocket watch you could clip on to pretty much anything. It puts Swatch on the map. Fast forward to 2022, and Swatch completely breaks the internet with the MoonSwatch, right? That one-to-one bioceramic recreation of the Omega Speedmaster. A year later, they follow it up with the Lepine Scuba 50. And now, exactly 40 years after that 1986 original, the Royal Pop arrives. Swatch has finally looked outside of its own Swatch Group umbrella to collaborate with the legendary AP.
But what's really fascinating here is how Swatch has systematically raised the mechanical bar with each major drop. They aren't just copying and pasting their strategy. Step 1, the MoonSwatch. Well, that was battery-powered quartz. Step 2, the Scuba 50, introduced the automatic System 51 movement. And now, Step 3, the Royal Pop, introduces something totally unprecedented for the brand, a manual wind System 51. They are seriously pushing the boundaries of what a mass-market bioceramic watch can be on the inside.
Section 2. 8 sides, 8 variations.
So there are exactly 8 distinct color variations of the Royal Pop. You've got a white pop art motif, a contrasting green, a classic monochromatic black and white, just to name a few. But here's the real aha moment. That number wasn't chosen at random. 8 variations deliberately pays direct homage to the iconic 8-sided octagonal bezel of the AP Royal Oak. The DNA of the Royal Oak is absolutely everywhere on this piece. The screws on the bezel, the tapestry pattern on the dial, the hands, the markers, even the knurling on the crown. It looks and feels just like a Royal Oak case.
And it turns out, even the name and the packaging serve a double purpose. It heavily leans into this bright, vibrant pop art motif that you'll see taking over Swatch stores worldwide. So it's calling back to that 1986 Pop Swatch heritage while simultaneously channeling the loud, colorful energy of Andy Warhol's pop art movement.
Section 3. Lepine versus Savonnette.
Now, not all 8 variations are actually built the same. 6 models utilize the classic Lepine format, and that gives you the traditional time-only display with the crown placed right up at 12 o'clock, perfectly mimicking the standard Royal Oak layout. But 2 of the models, including this very splashy pink, yellow, and turquoise option, use the Savonnette style. That means a subdial for the seconds, and the crown moved over to 3 o'clock. The catch? When a Savonnette model is clipped into its carrying case, it actually sits at a 90-degree angle, so you don't look at it directly head-on. It's a very quirky, highly specific design choice. Both of these case styles are affixed to an upscale calfskin lanyard with contrasting stitching rather than a bioceramic bracelet. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room here. This definitely disappointed some fans who were desperately hoping for a true bioceramic wristwatch. But engineering a one-to-one AP bracelet out of bioceramic, that would be incredibly difficult, maybe even impossible. By going with this upscale calfskin lanyard instead, Swatch breaks completely new ground for their collaborations, giving the whole package a much more premium feel than a simple rope ever would have.
Section 4. Surprising premium upgrades.
I mean, just look at this incredible list of hardware. They absolutely shattered the expectation of cheap plastic here. For the first time ever on a bioceramic Swatch collaboration, we are getting genuine sapphire crystals, and not just on the back, but on the front as well. Add in 15 active patents, an anti-magnetic Nivicron balance spring, and a massive 90-hour power reserve. Plus, like we mentioned, they engineered the very first manual wind System 51 caliber specifically for this drop. You can really feel Audemars Piguet's high horology influence pushing Swatch to totally elevate their manufacturing game.
And this detail right here brilliantly illustrates the level of thought AP brought to the table. Thanks to that exhibition sapphire caseback, you can literally look through the back of the watch and watch the mainspring coils tighten and loosen as you interact with it. It essentially serves as a visual mechanical power reserve indicator. It's such a cool, interactive feature that you just do not expect to find on a mass-produced Swatch.
Section 5. The specs and price. So, let's talk numbers. When it comes to wearability, you get a really nice 40mm footprint when it's unclipped, which expands slightly when mounted in its case. The thickness is a remarkably slim 8.4mm, and honestly, considering the sapphire crystals and all that mechanical innovation, the entry price is relatively accessible. We're talking $400 for the Lepine models and $420 for the Savonnette. However, you really need to look closely at that last metric. 2 bars of water resistance. That's effectively just 20 meters. So you absolutely for sure do not want to get this watch or its calfskin lanyard wet.
Which brings us to one final, pretty fascinating question to think about as we wrap up this explainer. Swatch and AP have undeniably elevated the internal mechanics and the materials to heights we've never seen in this product category. But by choosing a pocket watch format rather than a traditional wristwatch, have they limited its ultimate appeal? Does this bold design choice push the culture of high-end horology collaborations forward, or are collectors eventually going to demand a return to the wrist? It's a brilliant experiment in hype and mechanics, and I highly encourage you to keep a close eye on how the watch world reacts to this in the months to come.